Well, hello everyone. I know this episode is uploaded a bit late, but hey, it was my new year in my country and I was busy. I was in vacation. So happy new year to all Persian people. Uh, well, we have lots of job to do, and before recording this episode, I had done a little things off camera. No cheating, I promise. So let's see what I had done. I organized my folders a bit. I have prefabs, and if you remember, I didn't have this little arrow thingy for indicating the direction of the player, and I modeled it in a free online uh, modeling website. I forgot the link, sorry, but if you search, you will find it easily. Now, away from that, uh, our first person controller is not changed. Our plane is not changed. Our radar system has a bit of things. I forgot to import this little plan, or I forgot to address it in the way it should. Well, in the bootcamp system, it was parented to the camera and it was right in the center of the camera. So I just redone it, and everything else is just there as it was. And the radar arrow, of course, is the little green arrow there. Okay, so nothing changed at all. Just I added the indicator, and that was all. And if you look at the indicator, it's the default shape and etc. So it's just a prefab. And in the script, I just added it as the indicator. You see here. So I just dragged and dropped it here. So that's being said, let's start our scripting. As I said, we have lots of things to cover. Now, as you remember, we have left part of the camera unaddressed, and that was the pixel aspect. And I told you guys that pixel aspect is a bit uh, hard to address if you don't know what you are doing. Now, the thing is this. We call it radar cam dot camera dot pixel dot rect. If I well, wait. What do we have? Clear flag, calling mask, depth, for clip plan, name here. What else do we have? Just these? Kidding me. Uh-oh. That's rect equals new rect. And I think I know what's the problem. For some odd reason, my resharper settings went back to it's a nice place to see Visual Studio. Yeah. Symbol icons. No, it's not here. Anyway. IntelliSense. Okay. General. Yeah, it's on ReSharper. You see, the IntelliSense is on ReSharper. So I'll just switch it to Visual Studio and we should be okay now. Okay. So if I say, yeah, here, radarcam.camera, the pixel aspect, or I should say rect, you see it's not the pixel aspect, it's the rect, okay, equals new rect, and here's what I'm doing, 0, 0, 1, 1. Now you see it says float left, float top, float white, and float height. So Basically, what I'm saying this script now is that, okay, put the camera on the top left and expand it to 1 and 1 means it will cover all the screen. So I need to change that. I know. So selecting the camera, looking at the normalized viewport rectangle, the X is the left side, so it's this. Copying and just pasting, you know. And I should say F. Now the top is this. Control C and putting it there. Control V, F, and this was the white, if I'm correct. Let's see. IntelliSense is not helping. Okay. Let's see. This is the white. Control C, and of course the height is the same because it's cubic. So, okay. So we addressed the radar cam camera rectangle. Now we need to change it. Be sure of that, because if you remember, on the radar script we have some settings for the place of the camera. Okay, so we need to address it. Now how should we do that? We know that the left here is the 0 to 1. Okay, don't forget that it's 0 to 1 and the height is 0 to 1. So for example, if I say that let's see, it's 1, you can't see it, correct? 0.7, oh yeah, 0.71 plus half of the white, that will be like 14, so it will be 0.85, and it's right at the edge. Now if I say 0.80, it's in the place, okay, and it will be top right. So I'll just keep that in mind, and let's do it this way. Okay, I'll start a switch case. A switch, the case will be radarcam.settings, if I can find it, that camera, I think, that camera, that setting, no, it's not there, sorry. I should say settings, yeah, dot radar position, okay, that's it. Now I say case radar position dot, of course, if I find top left, okay, then I'll put the break. Another case radar position dot, now that I have top right, I'll use it because I know the numbers, break. And before this, I think I'll define a new rect and call it temp equals new, of course, rect, and that is 0, 0, 1, 1. That's simple, okay? Now here I'll address it. So I'll say temp equals new rect, and that's this section, okay? I got it. And instead of all this junk, I'll just say it's equal to temp. So Control X, and it's equal to temp. That's simple. So here, now here I'll say temp equals new rect. Instead of negative 0.05, we found it that it's 0.8f, and the rest is the same. Okay, so I'll just say Control V, and this is 0.8. Okay. Now another case, let's see what we have. We address these two. Okay, top center. And break. The next is case dot, let's say middle left. Break. Case dot middle right. Break. Case screen center, basically middle. Break. And now case, of course, the low left. Break. Case low right. Break. Oops. No caps lock. Break. And case low center, of course. And break. Okay. Now for top center, we will have this, of course. And somehow I can say that the top center is easy to define. We know that it's 0.5 minus 0.14 possible. So it will be 36. Let's test it, okay? So if it's 0.36, oh, come on, 0.36, and you see that it's top center, okay? That's simple. Now, we have the top center covered. Now, for this part, it's again just the case of, you know, I don't know what's this. Okay, it's just the case of 0 to 1 again. So the y, if it put like 1, you won't see it, but if I put something like 0.8, oh, funky it is now. Okay, 0.6, yeah. And what else do we have? So here will be 0.33. Okay, it's 0. 0 is down. Okay, so it's like 0 to 1 on the x and 0 to 1 on the height from the bottom left of the screen. So here will be 1, here will be 0. So if I just put like negative 0.09, it won't work, or I should say 0.09. Too much. Let's see. Yeah, it's actually, I think 0 is good. Yeah. So the 0 is good. Okay. So I'll address the low left first. So it's just this, sorry. It's the same numbers here. And the y became f, it became 0. Okay. Now I know the low right from my this number, and we know that the right position is 0.8 f here. So 0.8, and the low center, of course, will be the same, but with 0.36. Okay, don't believe me? Let's check it. If I put 0.8 or 0.36, so we have that. Now for the halfway, it should be something around 0.5 minus that 15, so again 0.36. Yeah, it's in the center. Okay, So the middle left will be like, no, wait, that should be this one, and the y will be 0.36. Okay. Now the middle right should be like the right one. C, Control E, and this one will be 36 again. Now the screen center, of course, will be like top center, and this one will be 36 again. Now, of course, you can do some things different way. For example, you can add an attribute here in the settings for the width and height of this map itself, and that would be the width and height here. Okay, and then using some basic mathematical formulas for this. But I think these numbers will do for time being. So we address the radar camera aspect ratio. So now let's see what we left from the previous section. We don't have the indicator, and we need to address it. Okay, if we have that addressed, we need to do things. Now the first things is check if it exists in the scene. Then if not, instantiate it. Okay, and then after that replace the indicator on top of the player. That's what we need to do here. Now the map plan shouldn't have any jobs by script, because the level designers need to do that manually. The occluder, if so we will check if the occluder exists in the scene. If not, instantiate it. Okay, again, same concept. Now, do we need to place the occluder? Of course, we need to place the occluder in the center of the camera in X and Z. Now, for the materials, we have a bunch of jobs to do. We really didn't do anything with the materials, and that's basically if we have any materials assigned here like this, then we need to create them and then set the settings. So basically what we will do, we will set create the material and then assign needed settings and assign needed textures if we need. So this is the same step for all these materials. Now, from the last time I wrote this script, I had something in mind but didn't implement it here correctly, and that was the blipping of different objects with different tags. As you can see, we have some tags here, and this should be with capital V, and the colors. Okay, now I thought with myself, maybe the level designers don't want to have restricted to be to 4 tags. Maybe they want more than 4 tags. And what should we do then? Now, here's the trick. We can change this completely, and I think I'll do this first, then command address the materials and needed things. So, where should I change that? Of course, in the definition of this things. So, I'll simply do this and say public, and this will be a type of strings, but it will be an array of strings and calls tags. Okay, and then we won't use the colors. Of course, I was wrong on that spot. So public texture 2D, if I find it, an array called bleeps. Yeah. Okay. So the thing we should have now is that oh, a new expression required or after. Where is it? What the hell? Did that case this? Oops, sorry, I forgot the semicolons. Yeah, a noob error. So that should solve it. Come on, come on, come on. Now it says the type string does not contain a definition for player tag and no existing method. What the hell? Okay. Now we need to change this completely. Shift N, Control C, and home. Comment this one and put this one here, and it says oh. Wait a minute. We are checking for the player tag, huh? So I just commented because I didn't done anything here for time being. We'll address it in a different way possibly. What else then? What is normalize? What? I don't know what's this. Okay, now as you see, we have tags and we have blips. Now if I say I have 4 tags and 4 blips, the first tag should be the player, of course. Player. The second should be enemy. The next one should be you say it NPC, and then vehicle. Okay, and we have 4 different textures for these 4. Now I'm wondering if I should say this: if tags dot length equals to 0, then we should say debug.log error you need to define some tags for blips and then return. Okay. Okay, now else, and here I want to check the oh check the textures for the blips. If they are null, create them. Okay, the thing I will do is like saying blips 0 equals new texture 2D dot. Oh, it won't give me a color. White integer height. Let's see, texture dot. None of them gives me the coloring for the textures. Interesting. Okay, let's say it's texture 2D. And then saying blips 0 dot. Let's see what I have here. And I don't have anything to do with the coloring, huh? And code to PNG equals filter mode format get hash get. None of the gets using load image mip map bias mip map name pick textures read pixels resize set pixels to string white wrap mode. Okay, so this is not how I want to address this. Well, the thing I'm after is assign colors, okay, to the textures. So after all, I'll need this coloring, but it should be color and it should be an array, something like that, okay? And it should be, of course, somewhere after the bleeps, because I want it to be something like this. Come on. Okay, the colors will be like 4 of them, and the first one will be something like, come on here, greenish. The second will be for enemies or reddish, of course. The next one will be NPC, something like blue, and the vehicles will be white. Okay, so I will define the colors, and the script will make these blip textures for me and then assign them to each thing here to just show on the map. That's the thing I'm after it. Okay, so for example, you will have a blipping thing here for an enemy, something here for the vehicle, and maybe another player or some NPC here, or your allies, I should say, maybe here, who knows. But you are the one who are defining the tags and the colors. But well, let's run the script. I'm not sure if it will make textures for level maps. Okay, sorry. So for the north indicator, I need another empty game object. And hey, it's my north indicator. Okay, I don't have any camera assigned, and I need a texture map. I think one will be good. and the textures, miscellaneous, and other map forest. Okay, so no errors should be appear now, just a blipping if it makes the texture here. Creating the camera, okay. And it didn't make any texture 2D for me. Huh? Didn't I say that? Or didn't I save it? I saved it and initialize. Oh no, I didn't make any. Okay. So the thing I'm after is this. First, I should make, let's say if well, I know that it's null for time being, so I'll say blips 0 equals new texture 2D. That's all. Okay. I just want to see what I will get from that. So I'll just run the camera and I should see some texturing here now. Come on, come on, come on. It's becoming slow. I don't know why. All compile errors. Okay, we have some errors in the compiler. Really? And what's that? Zero arguments. Okay, now it's interesting. Yeah, it's this. Okay, we say 10 by 10. Okay, just pixels enough for something. And play it again, please. Maybe. Yeah, we have a texture here. Okay, and that's this. So yeah, it's texture. Okay. Okay. I got my error. Well, basically we are defining textures, okay? So maybe if we change it to materials again, material, and can I address it now? So say bleep 0 equals new material dot, oh come on, shader string contents material source. Okay, now we say bleep 0 dot, now we have the color. Okay, equals colors 0 semicolon. Okay, something like that, and then we will put it in a loop. But for timing, I want to see, oh, does not contain the constructor that takes 0 arguments again. Now what should I do there? Now what should I put here? Material source shader string contents. Oh, hey. Okay, because we will deal with this again. So let me see if I have any materials here. For example, what's the thing I have? Yeah, I can use diffuse. I hope it will work. So it will type of what do we have here? material dot. Don't I have diffuse? What's after Crete? Nothing. Okay, let me see if I put diffuse here. Will it work? Hopefully. I didn't make at least 80% of the jobs I'm doing now. Yeah, it made it diffuse, but it didn't change the color, I think. Yeah. Oh, it needs a shader. And it's to diffuse. So what's this? Definitely not what I want to see. Can I put it like this? Possibly, maybe, hopefully. Here's in the current context. Okay, we can say shader. That's no shader diffuse. How the hell should I address this? Okay, material, please. Material. Do we have anything to go on? And there is no example. God, I hate it. Material runtime. Possibly. No, thank you very much. Now, how the hell a new expression requires? Oh, what the hell? Okay. Did it solve the issue? I know it's there, but shader dot destroy equals. Yeah, what the hell? Okay. So let's say it's the tag 0. Okay. Now, before that, I should say blips 0 dot shader equals shader dot no equals, and it gives nothing. Okay. Well, one thing I do sometimes is just use the Google for that. And how the hell should I do this? Google.com. I just doing it on camera because I want you guys to see that the internet is a very interesting place of doing stuff, and of course it's in Persian for me. Let me see if I can change the oh well, you see it will be Unity material runtime. Okay, assign materials at runtime that aren't in the objects. Swapping materials effectively at runtime, that's not the point. Object, how to change physics, material runtime, load, bump, normal texture into runtime objects in Unity, tips for working with Unity, Unity script reference, no thank you. Maybe I'll put a create material runtime. Open a new tab, please. And maybe I should pause my downloads, but anyway. Create material at runtime, that's the point, that's exactly what I want to see. Well, I'll pause the video and come back when one of these pages are opened. See you guys. Okay, found the solution. Here is the format we need. Basically, the material equals new material in the parentheses shader.find, and in the find we need to put the diffuse. Simple enough. Okay. So it's like this. New material, and here we should say shader.find, and what we are looking for is a simple diffuse. Okay. Now we have the diffuse shader in the place, and we should be able to assign the colors. So let's see in action. Please, come on, yeah. Okay. So we have no material, but we have the color. Okay. Now we have a material, and the color is, of course, green. Okay. So that was what I wanted to see, but I'm not sure if I can use it like the way I want, because the thing I had seen people done is to assign textures on the GUI for blips. Maybe no, that can't be happening. So there are two ways to put the blips, I'm thinking about those two ways. One is to put spheres, instantiating spheres on top of the characters, and the other way is to using texture 2Ds and put them by GUI. So what I'm thinking is that by adding materials and using materials, I'm not sure if I can convert that to textures in any way, and I'm not able to use that material on GUIs. The shaders are not textures, so basically we can't use that too. So if we are going on this approach, then I will be forced to use spheres. But for time being, let's say that this is the way I want to go, and then let's see if I can make any way of creating textures on runtime with colors, or let's search that one. So create texture runtime, assign materials. No, it's not. Okay. How do I create a texture dynamically in Unity? Open a new tab. And of course I don't need these, not this one, and not this one. Okay. But I'm not sure if I can assign a simple color as texture. And again, My internet is a bit slow today, I'm not sure why. But anyway, let's continue the scripting for time being. So the thing I want to do is to create a loop here, okay? So we'll say for each, let's say BLP in, no, not this one, CLR as color in colors. We will do this. Or, no, I need the index. So for int I equals 0, I plus plus, and do it until I is less than colors dot length. Okay, and then I plus plus. Yeah. So we say that if bleeps of I equals null, then we want to say Control X, Control V, bleeps of I equals a diffuse shader, okay? And then we will say bleeps of I dot color equals colors of I, and of course it should go into the for loop. Okay? So what I'm doing is that I'm checking the colors, or I can do it by tags, of course. That's another way of doing that. And I should check the tags. Well, we need something. We want to see that if colors.length does not equal with tags.length, then we want to say debug.log warning, or it's an error, and that's this. You need to define colors for your tags, okay? Semicolon, and then we want to return. So return, and that's it, okay? That's one part of it, and then we will check if bleeps that length does not equal with tags that length. Again, we will have some things like this going on, but the error should change a bit, and that's define bleeps count for your tags. Okay, so now I'm sure that they are equal in the numbers, and it will be okay. So far so good. Let me check if, oh, come on. No. Solid color um, texture drawn time, maybe, possibly, hopefully, I don't know. Okay, so the way I'm doing it for time being is I'm using material. If I can find any way to change that material to the texture 2D, I'll do that. But for time being, I'm okay. So if I run the script now, I should see 4 materials will fold with 4 different colors. Yeah, come on. And this should be double. Okay. Will you do the trick now? Yeah. As you can see, we have 4 different materials now. The first one is green, the second one will be red, and this should be blue, and this should be white. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do for time being. And if I can find a way to simply uh, this is the PDF. Okay, solid textures. Is that the key? Create solid textures runtime, and this is not loading as fast as it should be. Adding text to texture. No. Yeah, nothing there. For example, I want to create a 2 by 2 texture. The upper left pixel would be white, the upper left pixel black. Okay, is there any answer for that? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. So new texture 2D 2 by 2 texture format RGB 32 and false. Okay, let's try it. So the basic thing he is doing is to say that where it's the attributes. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, it's not material. It's again texture 2D. Okay. And then here when we are assigning the material, it says something else. It will say blips of I equals new texture 2D and we need to define the integer height and width, so it's 1 pixel by 1 pixel. And what was that code again? Texture format dot. Okay, so it's texture format dot RGB32, comma, and this is mip map, so we don't have any mip map. Okay, so we are this now for the pixel, of course it's 0 and 0, and color set pixel. Okay, texture to the, okay, so it will be blips.i dot set pixel. Okay, and it's 0 comma 0 comma colors of I. Okay, and the rest of this is junk. Now let's hope that this will work. So I don't have, oh, what the hell? Oh, I had one more. Okay. So let's hope. Okay, what's the point now? Hmm. Colors I. Okay, I need to apply the color, I think. So you see, as I said, I'm doing lots of things that I didn't had done at all until now. Hopefully this will solve. So will you please make it possible for me? Oh yeah, look at this. So we have 4 textures here. And that's the thing I wanted to see. Now I don't need to see these blips in the basically in the designer. So I leave it there for time being, but I need to set the count by itself. So if the length is not 0, then we need to do some things here. Instead of debugging error, instead of all of this, we will say blips equals new texture 2D, and the count is tags dot length. I think it will work. Okay. Any errors? No. So let's see if I put 0 here, and if I run, it should set it to 4, and then no. Blips count for your tags. Oh, it didn't save. Come on. I saved it. Build succeeded. Okay. Clear. Oh yeah. As you can see, it set the correct number and then set the colors corresponding to the colors I'm defining for the tags. And the reason I'm going with the texture 2D is to use it as future blipping textures on the GUI. Okay. So now I had my tags defined, and I don't need any of this later, and not this one, not this one. Okay, so I address the tags, I have the maps, I have the camera, and I address the camera placement, and the endpoint is just a game object. Now the only thing I need to address for time being is this indicator. Now let's see if we can do that. So we will say if game object dot find name, we need a name. Okay, we say prefabs dot indicator dot name equals null. Now we need to instantiate it, and then we need to place it. Okay, so let's say that it exists in the scene, or let's say I need this part again. Control it, and here I'll say game object go equals to this and not the name. Yeah, that name, we need that because it's in a string. So if go equals null, then go equals instantiate, and what I want to instantiate is the prefabs dot indicator. Okay, for timing, let's test it because I'm not sure if it's working. So basically, oh yeah, it's as game object. Okay, so did it solve the problem? Yeah. So I don't have any indicator here, but I addressed the indicator in the system. So let's see if I can get the indicator, and yeah, it's a clone of the indicator, and I can't find it here. Of course, it's there now. Okay. Now the only thing I need is to place it and parent it. So we will say go dot position dot transform dot position equals new vector tree, and that's the let me see, what was the player, where did I assign it? Oh god, endpoint node map plan camera. I didn't address the player at all. Well, that's interesting. I forgot to put the player there. So in objects, before everything, we will say public game object player equals null, and save this. and we should see that in here. What the hell? Okay, it's down here, I think. Yeah. Okay, vector 3. Now we can say objects dot player dot transform dot position dot x, comma, let's say 30 for time being, comma, objects dot player dot transform dot position dot z. So I'm hard coding the position. So now we need the rotation. So go dot transform dot rotation root not dot rotation equals to objects dot player dot transform dot rotation. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. So I have it, and it didn't move because null reference rather that initialize at, where is it? Well, why it's not working? Oh yeah, because I didn't. Okay, I'm such a noob. I don't have assigned any player here. Okay, so what it's going to do is to find the player now and assign the clone here. So the indicator clone, as you can see, is on top of the player and right on top of it, I hope. Hopefully. Why don't I see the player at all now? And it's in the same direction because no, it's not in there. Oh yeah. Okay. What the hell? It's there, and the indicator. Whoa. Well, it should be the same because as you can see, these two numbers are like these two numbers. Interesting result. If I move my player somewhere else, and let's say the indicator is moving away from this one. Why it's doing this? Yeah, that's the point, okay? So basically what's going on is my prefab is a bit funny. because the default has some transformation. And let's apply it again. Okay, so now if I delete this and run it again, now we should see the clone right on top of my player, as you can see, high up in the sky. Now, you know, that 30 is hard-coded number, okay? And I can take that 30, or I can say that it's the objects dot camera dot transform dot position dot y divided by 2. That's a save point. Okay, so let's see. So where's my camera? Rather cam, where are you? Oh, we didn't move the camera yet. Okay, that's the point. Okay. So we replaced the indicator on the top of the character, we instantiate it, and we have our indicator in the game now. Next thing that we found just yet was that I didn't place the camera correctly, and let's do that. So rather cam dot camera dot position dot transform dot position equals new vector tree, and that would be objects dot player dot transform dot position dot x, comma, let's see, I need to do that. Well, let's say 60 is enough, comma, objects dot player dot transform dot position dot z. Okay, and rather cam dot camera dot transform dot rotation, again, rotation equals new quaternion dot new quaternion dot identity y equals new, what do we have? Your quaternion, and for quaternion we have this float x, y, z, and w, but don't we have the Euler? And that will be 0, 90, and 0. I'm trying to do something like that. Okay, let's see if it's working, or do we have any compiler errors? Yeah, the Euler does not exist in the type quaternion. So I'll say camera dot, I don't have rotate here, of course not, transform dot rotate, and here vector 3 Euler angles. Okay, new vector 3, and this will be 0, 90, 0. So it should rotate the camera. Let's see if that's going on. So here's the radar cam, and it's on 90 degree. Where is looking it? No, that wasn't the point. I want to rotate it. I want to rotate it on X, and that would be 90. Yeah. Okay. So it's 0 and 90 on the X. Okay. And then I want to instantiate the, yeah, that's the correct way. Okay, so just remember that I'm instantiating the indicator prefab after I replace the camera. So here is the way. Here's my camera, and as you may notice, this is my player indicator here, right in the middle. That's cool. Okay, so the only thing remind is to assign that indicator to the radar layer. And if you call, we had some funny code here, and that was this. Okay, but that was for calling mask. Now I think the layers are different. So I will say go dot, do we have layer? Layer equals, let me see. What was the code here? Yeah, I think this should work again. Control C. Control E. Nope. Will this work? Or will this give us error? No errors there, so a game object can only be in one layer. The layer needs to be in the range 0 to 32. I know, I just want to change the layer. Okay. And layer index 8, okay. How the hell should I change this? Let me see. Will this work? Okay. And yeah, it's in radar now. The radar cam, and why the hell don't I see that in the place? Where are you? It's right in the middle, but I think it's just small to see. So if I scale it like 2 by 2, I don't see it yet. 10, and 10, come on. I don't see it yet. Okay. Yeah, it's there. Okay, I know. So, oh, I think I know why. I think I know why. Okay, that was a wrong place to put. And it should multiply it by -1. Let's see. Now where is the indicator? It's down here, and yeah, that's the whole point, you know. Here's my camera. It's way there. Ooh. Z. And if I just move it there, this is the whole reason, you know. Now where is my indicator? And if I move it down below this layer, uh, 5 by 5 by 5, 10, 10, and 10. Now why don't I see it in the camera view? Oh, it's the player. And that's interesting. I have this radar cam. Oh, hey, I should change this one. So yeah, this is my player indicator, I think. So 1, 1, and 1. No. So what I'm looking at, well, you see, this is an interesting error because I'm calling the radar calling mask, and I have the indicator in radar layer, but the camera don't see that, and I'm not sure why. So I need this radar point to be parented to the camera. So let me do this stuff I need to do and then go back and debug this later on. So we have one occluder, as you can see, but we don't have anything for this radar point. So we addressed the occluder, but we didn't address the radar point. Okay, and well, the radar point is one plan again, and it should be right in the place of the camera. Let me think about it and come back. So the thing I'm thinking about is to create this radar point by the script itself, or create it manually by level designers and let them handle things. Well, I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm really not sure. So you see, The map plan is on 1 by 1 by 1 in the scale, but it's so large. Map plan, where were you? Okay. That's this one. Oh, 30, 30, 30. Rather occluder, rather map, rather, oh, map plan. Well, I think I just need to let the designers handle this, because there is no way to define the correct scale of the object depending on the level. So I'll just put another attribute here in the objects, and player endpoint north map plan. Right after map plan we will say public game object, and we will say, what should we call it? Come on guys, a good naming. Rather effect, okay, equals null. So I need a prefab here, or I should say no, I don't need a prefab, I just need this to be somewhere out of the hierarchy here. Okay, so rather point, and I'll assign this to rather effect. That's simple. Okay, so now that I have that, an initialize method, I should check that. So we will say if objects dot rather effect equals null, then we will put a debug dot error dot log error, and that should be, or it should be log warning, and that should be you don't have any camera, any rather effect. Okay, and then we will return. Now that we know that we have it, we will say else. We will say objects dot rather effect dot transform dot position equals new vector 3. No, not this one. Objects dot camera dot transform dot position x, comma. Now the y component will be hard coded. It will be -10, comma, objects dot camera dot transform dot position dot z. Okay, I'm not sure why the semicolon jumped down, but the new vector 3 camera dot x -10 f, possibly, maybe, semicolon. Oh, come on. What did I Missed. A new expression requires this or this. Why? Objects that radar effect dot position equals new vector 3. Objects that camera that transform that position dot x. Of course. Delete and semicolon. Okay. So now this should jump to the camera's position. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Now -10 is a bit low, maybe. So let's try this. And what's this clipping here? Radar cam. Okay, -0.06 maybe. Yeah. Okay. So as you can tell, I just moved this one to the place of the camera, okay? And my indicator is high above, and yet I can't see it, okay? And I'm not sure why. Let's change the color to something like, I don't know, maybe that. Okay, so now the culling mask and the arrow and so we need two other indicators, one for the arrow and one for the north, of course. So the arrow is down there, but it's still above the occluder, okay? So, and it's above this radar point. So we need two more indicators. Let's do that. North and map plan radar effect. Now public game object, and this will be north indicator equals to null, and public game object endpoint indicator equals to null. Okay. Now I'll do the same thing here for basically both of them. So once for the north indicator, don't have any north indicator assign, and we will do this. Okay, it's that north indicator, the transform its camera, and as you remember, the north indicator was like -5. Okay, same goes for the end. So that endpoint indicator Control C, Control V, and I'll do something like point -3 and any and point indicator. Okay, so we have that, and let's say that the radar arrow is called endpoint arrow, and we have the endpoint arrow as the endpoint indicator. Now I'll just duplicate it and call it north arrow. Okay, and I'll put it in here. So let's see if it's working. So seems that my endpoint arrow is there, as you can see, and north point is there, as you can see. Both of them are there. Of course, they are looking like each other, but if I just rotate this one, you'll see that there are two arrows there. Okay, so we place them in the correct position. And why the hell don't I see this indicator? I'm not sure. I just make it like this. Where'd it go? It's there. It's right on top of the player. So I don't know still, why don't I see this arrow there? But well, let's do that as the last one. So the last thing I need to address is this calling mask, or should I say occluder, I think, before the materials. So the scene, if not, instantiate it and place it. Okay, it's the same concept with the, if I can find it, the indicator. Okay, so we need this, Control C, and we will put it there here. So Control V. Now prefab indicator, okay, we don't need that part. Delete and delete. Okay, so basically I'm telling that prefabs dot, not here, dot occluder dot name. Okay, so if it's null, then I'll need the occluder to be instantiated. And remember, it won't be here, it will be on something like -15, and you don't need to do the rotation, and of course it will be in the same layer. Okay, so now I address the occluder, I don't need it here, and I don't need the camera, I have the map and I have the ending point and I don't need this radar. Okay, so now if I run it, well, what's going on now? Where's the occluder? Yeah, it's so small. Hey, it needs to be scaled up. So basically like 55, I think, and 55, and this can be stay 1, no, 55. Okay, is it the correct way? Seems so. Okay, so 55, and then do I have the apply option? No, isn't it a prefab? Okay, what the hell? Hey, okay, so just in the prefabs I have the occluder. I'll use 55 for that. So now if I run it, everything looks correct, okay, except that I don't see this indicator in the radar. Oh, is it this? Let me see. Now if I just scale it up, yeah, it's there now. Okay, was this just because it was on the default? Yeah, so you see, I need to address all these things, and it's right in the middle, but not right in the middle. It seems from the top. Come on. Yeah, it's some bit offset, so it's this one. Zero that, no. Oh, what I'm doing? It's this one. So 0.5, okay. Now indicator default, so the X is 0.5, and the reason I had done something like this is that I wanted to orient it with the player correctly, because if you see, if I'm in the local mode, I'm not sure, you see that it's not assigned properly, but this one is assigned properly with the character itself, but the pointing is directly in front. So now 0.5 is not correct. What the hell, 1.5? And if it's 1, 1 and 1, and this will be needed to be 2.5, huh? Seems so. Okay, so it will be 1, 1 and 1, and this will be 2.5. So now the only thing is that I didn't assign this to the radar system. What I'm doing, default, assign this to radar system, okay? And it should be on the center. Now, So I need to address that indicator there. Where it's that indicator? Come on, Mr. Indicator. Okay. So now geo dot get child, something like that. Maybe the transform. Get child. And I know that the child is 0. Okay. That's okay, I'll say go equals with this one. Now I should say go dot layer equals settings dot layer index. Will it work? Not sure. Method group. Get child, and what I need is 0, like that. Dot layer. I can't address that. Okay. And I know that now I will have another error. See? It's transform. And I should say as game object. And it should say get game object, and it won't get the game object. Okay. Dot transform dot layer no dot game object dot layer now equals to setting dot layer index. That should do the trick, and I don't even need this. Okay. Now basically what I'm doing is that I'm finding the first child of that transform and assigning it to the same layer. And I should say if go dot transform dot get child count is greater than 0, then I should do a loop for this one, and I'll do this for I integer I equals 0 semicolon I smaller than go dot transform dot get child count semicolon I plus plus, and be sure as hell that you need parentheses after both of them, or you will get the error. Now in this loop I'll just do this I. This should do the trick. So any error please? Come on. Clear. Yeah. To game object we have build go.transform.get child count. What's the error? Oh, it's okay now. It just needed time to update. So now you see it finds this child and assigns the correct layer to it, and we can see it there. Okay, so basically what I had done is just change the way the radar system will show you the place of the radar, everything that you need. For example, if I say top center, now if I run it, you will see the radar point here, everything will be the same thing, and the player indicator is there. Of course, it's a little big. I may just come here and do something like this, 0.5, 0.5 and 0.5 maybe, and let's see. Yeah, it's a bit small and you need to replace it again. Yeah, you know, I'll go with 0.8, 0.8 and 0.8, and I think this will be 0.24. Maybe it will work. No. What's the 2? Still off center. 1.6 seems the center, huh? So let me see if we I'm trying to find a way, a mathematical way between these numbers and these numbers. It was 2.5 times bigger. So this is the 2.2 and half is 0.4, so it should be 2. And it seems like in the center, okay? So this should be 2. Well, these things cannot be addressed in the script itself, and as you can see, my main camera is, how the hell is this one? Looking through the arrow? Why is it being seen there? I don't get it. Because the calling mask, where is it? Is everything. Okay, no, we don't need the radar here. Okay, so we don't see the radar there. Okay, so that was the point. Another point. Okay, it's getting near 2 hours of recording. So let's take a look at the script, what we had done in this session, because it was a bit going back and forth. Basically, I got get rid of these tags here because I want to let the players define the tags, and it's not using this class of colors anymore. And we added some objects that you need to make yourself, like radar effect, north and end point indicators. And well, prefabs are the same, and in the settings we didn't change anything, I think. The materials are the same. I didn't touch it yet at all, but I know that now I don't need vehicle, NPC, enemy and player indicators materials because I have them. Okay, but we will see about that. Those were for bleeps, and we are handling bleeps in different way. First, we'll let you define the number of tags you want, and then the script will go on and assign the textures based on the colors that you are defining for those tags. So later on I will hide this texture in the indicator, or make it private at all, who knows. Then we came down and started coding some things like we went for the blips first. So we addressed the tags, we addressed the blips textures and changed the color here and here. And then we started positioning the camera properly, then rotating it down, and then setting the aspect ratio. And for aspect ratio, I'm using hard-coded numbers because no matter what is your resolution, your screen will go from 0 to 1. So these are right the center based on the camera we have. And then we assign that texture here, that resolution here. Now we just checking the endpoint here and the indicator, and we added the indicator part. So if we don't have the indicator, we can instantiate it. Nothing has done with the map plan, north, and north indicator because the north indicator needed to be addressed by the level design. But we have the occluder now, so I just instantiated the occluder and replaced it. And the radar effect is the same, but we need to address radar effect in the game because that's a plan and that needs to be replaced by scaling. Same for north indicator and the endpoint indicator effects, or those arrows. And in next episode I'll start working on these materials, and as I said, I won't have any of these 3 or 4 materials. I just need the map plan and the occluder material, and then we should be okay, guys. And the only thing remaining would be to address how the camera will move with the character and how we should use those texture 2Ds that we had on the radar system here to add to the effects. So now I can just simply parent these to the radar system. Let me just rename this as north point. Okay. And this goes into radar system, of course, and the ending point goes to radar system. So this is the ending point, and what's this plan? It's the ground, I think. So yeah, we don't need that. An endpoint arrow. So basically I have everything I need in the radar system here and in the prefabs, and well, sometime we may go on and change this arrow in Photoshop from the green to something else for the north, and I can texture that. And well, now that I think about that, I remember that for the textures I had something like maps, and now I will add a class called textures to make it more usable. So we have the tags, we have the colors for those tags, we have objects. The camera can be hidden because we don't need to address this one at all. It will be completely made by the script. We have 2 prefabs that we need to have. We have settings, and then we have some materials. Of course, it will be just 2 materials here, and we have maps. So that's it, guys. I mean, the only things that we need to address is to create some materials for these things. So for these two materials, we will have for occluder and map plan, and then assign the textures that we need, and basically it will be the same texture to both of them, and that's it. Then we will start moving the camera with the player, and then address this setting of camera can rotate or not. That's it. So see you guys in next episode. Have fun.